Hello everyone, and welcome back to the next edition of Let's Play Skyrim. Last time we acquired a starter house, Anissa's cabin, and this time we're going to loop back to Riverwood and really properly explore the town. Check out everybody's houses, take what we can take, talk to everyone, do all the available quests, and just generally do everything there is to do in Riverwood. So let's get started. A thought has occurred to me, something I mentioned earlier and only just remembered. I should, even though I'm not training archery, I don't want to use it in combat yet, I should still carry the best bow I have with me, simply because if I see a deer or an elk, I need to be able to kill it. I need deer hides, and I need both large and small antlers, so I need to kill these things in order to start collecting. And it's worth it to kill a fox, too, if I can, because I do not need fox pelts for any reason, so they're one of the few things I can actually just go ahead and turn into leather, which will be useful in allowing me to start smithing. Of course, I need a certain amount of leather saved as well. Amazingly, we can't one-shot a fox. Which confuses me because it should have been a sneak attack, but I didn't hear that thunk that signifies a critical hit from sneaking. Where did he go? I don't want to just waste my arrow. And it even did a kill cam. Why didn't he die? Shenanigans. Let's try one more time. See if we can't get our deserved sneak critical this time. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. Now we can creep over to the fox, take an iron arrow, get our arrow back, and take his pelt. We'll be able to turn that into leather, which is always useful. This is a random encounter site, and it looks like we've got a spawn. What is it? It's an afflicted refugee.
Don't even think about it. Are you finished ogling the grotesque? I suppose I should be grateful you didn't simply attack me. I'm one of the afflicted. I'd have been dead from this plague a year ago if not for Peryite's protection. Returning to High Rock, our shepherd lost his way, and I fear Peryite's wrath may consume those who remain with him. Kesh could tell you more. I just want out of Skyrim as quickly as possible.
Find Kesh at the Peryite Shrine. Alright, let's pickpocket the refugee. He's got 3 gold. But we'll have a much better time pickpocketing if we're... And a hide helmet. Armor 11, weight 2, value 25. Got it. Okay. Now before I leave, I almost forgot.
What do you need?
Up near the cabin, just track the rock edge above the water here. There's an iron ore vein someplace. Here it is. Let's mine the ore out of this vein. Always a good idea. Hey, we got a garnet too. Not bad. Now let's start making our way back toward Riverwood. There's a thistle branch. There's not really much going on up on this side of the river. Not yet, anyway. Until we hit what looks remarkably like a trail. I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to grab this thistle branch and this Mora Tapanella. We'll see this trail again from that old watchtower, but I'm not ready to go there just yet. Instead, let's head this way, get a red mountain flower. A little bit farther down the trail we find a purple mountain flower, a blue mountain flower, another purple, and another red. And I believe over this edge there's a deer. And we'll work on killing that in a moment. And we're back. Let's see if we can murder us a deer. That should have been a sneak attack. I don't know why that wasn't a sneak attack. Let's try a different angle. There we go. Got him. I need to rush down there before his body drifts away. We got a deer hide, a large antler, and a venison. Large antlers weigh 1/10 of a pound. They have value 2 and 4 unknown effects, but we need both of those things. With that, I need 12 more deer hides, and you need a total of 19 large antlers. That number now drops to 18. Delightful. I saw some dragonflies. Might as well go ahead and catch as many as we can. No fish. That's fine. Don't think I'll be able to find the arrow I missed with, but it's worth a cursory look. No arrow, but there are 3 more dragonflies. So let's catch some or all of them. Got 'em. I want to check on fish here too. Seeing none, I'll head back up to where I sniped the deer and keep working my way down. Missing 1 arrow is not the end of the world. Especially not. Although it'll be a long, long, long time before I have enough iron for hearthfire stuff. Once I start working on smithing in earnest with firewood and ingots, there will be no shortage of arrows. For whatever reason, I had caps lock on. I wanted to turn it off without accidentally locking myself into walking everywhere. We got a thistle branch here, and a purple mountain flower. Let's rove this space between the mountains and the river. Now this fallen tree is important. This is where treasure map 1 was pointing us to. I'll grab a Mora Tapanella off the tree. I knew there were more mountain flowers. A purple and a red down here by the water. And then, if we actually head up to the tree, we can go in here at the base of it. And here's the chest that was spawned in by treasure map 1. I have 25 gold, an amethyst, an empty petty soul gem, a steel ingot. Do you want to know how many steel ingots we need for Hearthfire? I'm sure you do. The answer's 120. With this, we're down to 119. And a silver necklace. My crafting cycle requires 5 necklaces of any type. With that, we're down to 4. Perfect. Now the mountains creep down closer to the water here, which is good. Gives us less space to cover. There's another slaughterfish egg nest over here on this side of the river. I'll grab that, and then I'll make my way over, sticking to this side of the river, because there are a couple of goodies over here. A Mora Tapanella right here. If I look at this fractured tree stump, I can get 2 more, 1 on each side. You'll notice something just spotted me. I'll get to that in a second. There are 2 more Tapanellas on this stump. 1 and 2. Nestled in the back here is another iron ore vein. And with all that done, down here where this water's flowing, somewhere nearby, there he is, a mud crab. He's easily dropped. Mud crab legs, weight 1/10, value 3, restore 1 point of health, and mud crab chitin, weight 3/10, value 2. We need mud crab chitin for Hearthfire furnishings. Specifically, we need 16 of them. With this, that number is down to 15. I think he might die too fast, but I'll try to get some conjuration experience off of him. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Non-hostile animals that don't turn hostile, like the fox and the deer, they don't work even if you can punch them 4 times. So it's pointless to try reanimating them. Oh, now we can keep on ranging. We hit another trail, and you'll notice we've popped out on the far side of Riverwood. I'm going to grab this thistle branch. I'm going to leave everything past the bridge for later when I'm exploring outside Riverwood. For now, I'm just going to pinch in, cross this bridge, and we can start exploring the town proper. Now that's a bit of an endeavor. And Riverwood is really small. I'll get everything that's available outside first. So there were 2 thistle branches there. We can get 6 salmon meat over here without stealing. On this, I don't know if this is the north or the east gate, maybe northeast, there's a beehive. If I hop up there, I can get a bee, weight 1/10, value 3, a beehive husk, weight 1, value 5, and a honeycomb, weight 1, value 5. Frequently, because it's an active beehive and not a vacant one, you'll see bees flying around here, which you can catch, but I don't see any right now. Here's another thistle branch. And, here he comes. This is the start of Dawnguard. Dawnguard activates when you hit level 10, and a couple of things happen that bear mentioning. First, the next time you're in town, this fellow, Durak, will find you. I'm not going to bother pickpocketing him yet, as we can see him again when we go to Fort Dawnguard later, so I'm just going to let him initiate the quest line by talking to me.
You there. The Dawnguard is looking for anyone willing to fight against the growing vampire menace. What do you say?
Miscellaneous objective triggered. Find out about the Dawnguard.
We're vampire hunters. We search out and destroy those blood-sucking scum wherever we find them.
I haven't noticed any vampire menace.
You're not paying attention then, like almost everyone else around here. Haven't you heard that the Hall of the Vigilance was destroyed by vampires? They never took the threat seriously, and now they paid the price.
Vigilance? Dawnguard? What are you talking about?
The Vigilance mostly hunt down Daedra worshippers, which is why they got torn to pieces when they went up against vampires. That's why our leader, Isran, is re-establishing the Dawnguard. Real, serious vampire hunters.
Killing vampires? Where do I sign up?
Ha! Isran's going to like you. Go talk to him at Fort Dawnguard, southeast of Riften. He'll decide if you're Dawnguard material.
Completed. Find out about the Dawnguard. Started. Dawnguard. Speak with the leader of the Dawnguard. I've learned of a group of vampire hunters known as the Dawnguard. It seems they are looking for new recruits. Now, two things happen now. One minor, one major. The minor one is that, as Durak mentioned, the Hall of the Vigilant has been attacked and destroyed by vampires. So if you have the vanilla game, you go there, the hall is fine. There are some Vigilants of Stendarr there just doing their thing, it's their base. Same if you go there with Dawnguard prior to level 10. But now that Dawnguard is turned on, if I go there, the place is ruined. Everybody's dead, the hall is destroyed after a vampire attack. Second, now the random vampire attacks start happening. And it happens two ways. There are several vampire-themed random encounters just happen out in the world at the spawn points. Those are fine. But the other thing that happens is if you fast travel to a town during the night, there's a chance that a master vampire and his thralls will attack the town and, assault the townspeople. And that is unacceptable. It results in NPCs getting killed, just a big mess that you want to avoid if at all possible. So from now on, at least until the Dawnguard questline is over, I'm going to have to make sure that anytime I fast travel to a town, I make sure I land during the day. Finally, look at the symbol for the Dawnguard questline. On the left, you have a vampire head with a moon and stars, signifying nighttime. And on the right, you have what turns out to be the symbol of the Dawnguard, that shield with the 4 points. So, there we go. Dawnguard is activated. I heard a bee. There he is. I'm just clearing the outside right now, so still at this gate there are 2 barrels. That one has 5 potatoes, that one has 5 carrots. I think I'll do the 3 gates first, and then the 6 buildings inside the town. Speaking of their exteriors. So there's nothing in or around this gate, exactly, but there is something important. First of all, for Hearthfire, there's a stone quarry here. Much like the clay, there's always a quarry right next to your house, and they don't run out. They're infinite, so don't particularly need to worry about mining stone in advance. But you do want to hop up this cliff and make your way over toward these trees and just hang out a minute. You might have seen a bird flying in circles earlier. There he is. That was a hawk. We want to down him. And you can usually do it here because his circle kind of carries him right by this cliff face as he's out flying before he circles back to his nest in that tree. Maybe I need to get closer. Now, hawks are a little bit strange in the way they're programmed. They're not actually creatures. They don't have a health value or anything like that, and you don't deal damage to them. They're treated like objects that just fly around in the sky, and the minute they make contact with anything, the object changes, and you have a hawk corpse that falls to the ground. I let him get away that time. It's alright, we'll just have to wait for him to circle back. It doesn't take long. You'll see what I mean. I just have to manage to touch him with anything. I could even just run into him with my body, not even perform an attack, and that would do the job. He could pop out anywhere. There he is. There, got him. Now we can head back here, and now he's a searchable container, and we get a hawk beak, weight 3/10, value 15, and 3 hawk feathers, weight 1/10, value 15. Perfect. That's it for this gate. I'm gonna head over to the other one. Now, I think I already mentioned there are 6 buildings in this town. We want to pick the locks on all of them, pick the pockets of all their inhabitants, and loot them all thoroughly. But there's a little bit of finesse involved as regards stealing. I don't like to steal right away if I don't have to. If the members of a household are eventually going to become friends with me and let me take their stuff, I'd rather do that, because then I can sell it to normal merchants. I won't have to hoard it until I have access to a fence. Okay, that's all the gates. Let's search this main drag now. We got a thistle branch there. Here in this cart we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cabbages. There's nothing along that street. Up here on the left there will be another thistle branch. Then let's head over to the lumber mill. Cross this bridge and loot this island. There are no buildings here besides the mill. There's another thistle branch. If I range over here, there's yet another thistle branch and 2 fly amanita mushrooms growing by that tree. Now we can loop back to the mill. Grab another thing that I'm always going to keep with me. A woodcutter's axe. Damage 6, weight 10, value 5. But now I can chop wood, which I have to do several times for several mill owners throughout the game. There's a bucket, 1, 2 baskets, another bucket, and 2 searchable barrels with 3 carrots and 3 more carrots. There's nothing out on this little promontory. It's just for viewing, I suppose. If I range over here, I can get, I think, yes, 2 more tapanellas. 1 off that stump and 1 off that fallen tree. Now I'll cross back over. I'll start doing the outsides of specific buildings. So as I said, there were 6 buildings. We've been to 2 of them so far. I'll start here on the left, Alvor and Sigrid's house, because we're already friends with them. Out here at Alvor's forge, I can find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 iron ingots that I'm already free to take, If you aren't friends with Alvor and Sigrid, you'll have to steal those, which can be a little more complicated. But with those 5, I'm down to 4 iron ingots for crafting my endgame gear. There are also 5 steel ingots, which you're also free to take if you're his friend. With those 5, I'm down to 114 steel ingots. Let's head over here now. Some of this stuff is good enough that I'll still need to steal it. There's a steel dagger, an iron helmet, which we've already seen, iron boots, iron gauntlets, iron helmet, and a steel shield. Now the steel shield is an upgrade, you may already know. I have an iron shield. I didn't want to switch to a hide helmet. I have an iron shield hoarded back at Anis's, so the steel is an upgrade. We can take the iron sword off the weapon rack. We have to steal the warhammer. Everything else is free to take. So we have a kettle, a bucket, and in this barrel, 5 red apples.
You just find that lying around? Must be your lucky day.
He saw me pick up the iron sword, and he's just commenting on that, so... That's it for outside Alvor and Sigrid's house. Now let's do the other building we already know, the Riverwood Trader. I'll start at the door and go to the right. Actually, I need to start under the stairs. There's a barrel here, 4 salt piles. There's a kettle on the ground, a bucket, a barrel with 4 tomatoes, a barrel with 5 cabbages, and now we need to go up to the 2nd level. Here we can find a bucket, 4 tomatoes, and 4 red apples in the 2 barrels. And we've also already been inside the Sleeping Giant Inn. I'm going to start at these stairs and head left. 2 barrels, 4 red apples, 5 carrots, 2 thistle branches. Around to the back. This is Sigrid's garden. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cabbages, plus 4 more in the wagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leeks. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potato plants. We just keep going. Find 2 more barrels, 4 sacks of flour and 4 salt piles, and 1 more thistle branch. Now let's actually head up to the porch, where we find a bucket and a barrel with 4 tomatoes. Next, let's go behind the Riverwood Trader to Hod and Girder's house. Let's start at the door and go left. As we head around here, we don't actually find anything until we get to their yard, which is fine. So let's hop into the yard now, where we can find a chicken's nest and 1 thistle branch. Let's stay in this back part of town and hit this house.
Riverwood? Looking for work, go see Hod at the mill.
In the back corner we find Feindal's house. Start here and go left. We find a thistle branch. He has his own little garden. 1, 2, 3 leeks. 1, 2, 3, 4 cabbages. And 1, 2, 3, 4 potato plants. A barrel with 4 tomatoes. Sneak increased to 34. Awesome. And now I'm going to go around the house like so. Just make sure there's nothing in the back. And finally search the actual porch. Just one barrel here with 4 red apples. And the last building is Sven and Hildy's house. I'm going to start here and go around to the left. Barrel with 3 salt piles, 4 green apples. By the way, there's nothing up on those walkways at any of the gates, so we don't need to worry about that. I'm going to hit their tanning rack right quick and just turn my fox pelt into leather. Tanning racks. The tanning rack is used to turn animal hides to leather and to cut leather into strips. Both leather and leather strips are used in creating and improving weapons and armor. It's fine and dandy. Let's use the fox pelt and create 1 leather. My crafting cycle ultimately requires 8 leather, so with that it's down to 7. Hooray. Now they've got a barrel on their front porch, 2 barrels actually, 2 sacks of flour, and 4 cabbages. Alright, with all that, we're ready to start searching actual buildings. Although there is one other thing I want to do. So first, I'm going to offload everything I can here at the Riverwood Trader.
The Riverwood take a look.
The iron sword, the steel dagger, iron boots, iron gauntlets, extra iron helmet, 29 cabbages. Yes, I need to sell them one at a time. Yes, it's tedious. Every time a skill gets to 100, it's worth celebrating because it means a large measure of tedium will disappear. Especially once we're done leveling speech, we can sell in stacks, which is much faster. And when we're done leveling alchemy, we can stop making potions, which really speeds things up too. I'll sell him all the leeks. Just want to keep my hunting brew mead. In some cases I'm actually giving him things, but that's alright. Alright,
I better get back to
that's that. So I'm going to bounce back to Anissa's cabin and offload all the useful things I found. Let's begin with stolen stuff I just want to sell. That would be this warhammer, this hide helmet, the second iron helmet, and that's it. I didn't find any unique items. But I did get a lot of alchemy stuff. I got some eventual quest turn-ins. The antlers, the chitin, the deer hide, the steel ingots. I got some crafting cycle stuff. That includes this necklace, these iron ingots, and that leather. Gems and ore into the smithing sack. Empty petty soul gem into the enchanting barrel. And finally, here, iron shield comes out, steel shield goes in. And we can sell that iron shield back in Riverwood, which I'll go ahead and do.
May the gods watch over
What have
your
you got for sale?
blades, helmets, pretty much
I don't
anything
actually
to
care
suit
what
your
you're
needs.
selling. I'm just selling you an iron
Okay.
shield. Now, we can use the beds in Alvor and Sigrid's house. I want to rest until midnight so that I can go pick all the locks outside. I'll rest for 11 hours. That'll make it midnight. And then we'll be finished with the exterior. Be
Make
ready to
yourself at
start dealing with building interiors and
I'm
with
spoken
people.
for, you know, so don't get any ideas.
Well, let's start back at Hod and Girder's house. They have a novice lock on their door. So let's pick it open.
I trust you're not planning any trouble.
Do so with secrecy, of course. Let's bounce over to Feindal's house and pick the lock on his front door. It's an apprentice lock. We might actually have a little trouble with it, with our skill this low. Lockpicking increased to 19. Lovely. Now let's do Sven and Hildy. First we're going to have to kill some thugs. This encounter could actually give me some trouble.
We're here to teach you a lesson.
This'll teach you not to take things that don't belong to you. That's your best, huh?
So, this is an encounter that will eventually happen if you steal anything from ananybody.
Awaits you.
This isn't that bad. Good. I'm just gonna keep wailing on them with my iron greatsword. Two-handed 32.
Lucky.
You call yourself a lord?
Heavy armor to 17. That's always good. There's one who's almost dead. Let's eliminate somebody.
Give up. Victory or some other time.
Two-handed to 33. That's pretty good. Dropped one. Dropped two. Now I can probably just straight fight the last guy.
You're a disgrace to your own kind.
And this will result in some serious equipment upgrades too, which is always nice. Two-handed to 34. And that's the fight. So, let's do a few things. Let's heal first and foremost. As much as I can, anyway. I'm gonna ready raise zombie. They might be too highly leveled for me to raise their corpses, but I'll try. That is a world interaction called Steal Thugs Hunt Player. Only happens once, but when you steal something, somebody will put out a contract on you, and you'll end up getting attacked. Let's search him. Well, the Orcish Sword is certainly an upgrade. 105 gold, Steel Dagger, and all of this steel armor is an upgrade. Steel armor, steel horned helmet, steel imperial boots, or bracers, and steel shin boots. So let's put those on. Absolutely. Let's search the second one. Steel shield, an iron sword of draining. That's a new enchantment effect. Steel dagger, 103 gold. Steel cuffed boots, steel horned helmet, steel armor, and a contract. Let's read the contract. Here is the agreed upon amount. I expect you to faithfully carry out my request to teach a lesson to the thief, Travis. You need not kill him, but I have no qualms about it if you deem it necessary. Hunter. Alright. I can take that contract off of the note and letter list. And let's search the third body. Steel shield, iron war axe of torpor. Stamina damage is another new enchantment. Steel dagger, 104 gold. Steel armor, steel helmet, steel Nordic gauntlets, and steel shin boots. Well, we're over encumbered, but I'm going to sell my iron gear to Lucan as soon as I try reanimating these guys. So we won't be encumbered for long. In the meantime, we got a serious armor upgrade. I don't know where he's going. He found a weapon of some kind. What do you know? There's an iron mace over here. It must have clipped through the floor, but he was still able to pick it up. Anyway, grab that iron mace. Now it won't be stolen. Might have been before, so that's good. Did I get a better greatsword? I don't think I did. No. Still stuck with an iron greatsword. Now we've upgraded our armor. That's pretty swell. We upgraded our one-handed sword too, which is always nice. Yeah, these guys are strong enough. We can get our 4 hits with the greatsword. Heavy armor to 18. That was pretty good. Let's get ready to raise the last one. After that exciting little interlude, we can get back to picking locks. I did not want to hit the chicken. I do not know why it had me hit the chicken. Twice. Forced me to hit the chicken twice. Two-handed to 35. Conjuration to 35. And a level up. I think I'm just shy of any more crafting upgrades. So I'll get Armsman 2 on the one-handed tree. One-handed weapons now do 40% more damage. That is excellent indeed. Sorry about that hiccup. Let's set about creeping over to Lucan's. Though, while I'm on the way, I may as well go ahead and lockpick Sven and Hildy's house. Just lockpicking for now. We'll root around inside these places later on. The front door of the Sleeping Giant is always unlocked, so we never pick it. The 2 doors on the Riverwood Trader will remain unlocked until Lucan's quest, the Golden Claw, is over, so we can't pick them just yet either. We can pick the lock here at Alvor and Sigrid's, so I'd like to do that right quick. In order to do so, I need to put the key I pickpocketed earlier inside that barrel, or somewhere where it won't be. Somewhere outside my inventory. Now let's pick the lock. That's it for lock picking. Until the Golden Claw is over.
Keep your guard up.
So let's sleep until 8 a.m. so that Alvor wakes back up.
What the rebels like to forget.
Don't even think.
Let's take the key back out of the barrel.
You know, so don't get any ideas.
Now we can just wait for Alvor to get to his forge. And we can sell some goodies to him. I don't know why he walks that long, long loop, but he does.
Take what you need, my friend.
What have you got for sale?
Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs.
Sell the iron mace, keep the orcish sword, keep both of those, sell the 3 steel daggers, sell our iron gear, sell the 2 extra steeled armors. They're identical. I just prefer the aesthetic of the steel cuffed boots, so I'll sell the shin boots. I already have a steel shield sitting at home. I like the steel horned helmet better than the regular steel helmet, and I prefer the steel Nordic gauntlets to the steel Imperial gauntlets. So there we go.
Aye.
Now let's Nord ourselves out in Nord steel. Let's go sell everything else to Lucan. Then we'll go offload at Anissa's cabin, and then we will be ready to go inside the 6 buildings to talk to people, to pickpocket people, and do their quests. So yes, there's a lot to do. The only extra thing is that contract. Let's bounce back here now. I'm gonna put my stolen iron helmet that I was wearing in here. I think that's everything. We can go ahead and disenchant these 2 things, swap in the orcish sword. Weapon enchantments, their experience value is so minuscule that you don't need to bother trying to max out your experience with the mage stone or being rested. Watch how little that bar is going to tick up. We learned the magicka damage enchantment. Very good, and we're going to learn stamina damage as well. Let me make note that we've found both of those effects. Not that we'll ever use them, but I want to have them all. Learn the stamina damage enchantment. Very good. Now let's head to my equipment locker, such as it is. Let's pull out the steel sword and put in the orcish sword, which is an upgrade. And we're perfectly able to sell that steel sword, so let's do that. And that brings me to Alvor. I'm going to do his house first, just because we're already friends. So let's sell him the steel sword, and then I'll be ready to get started.
Take what you need, my friend. Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs.
So you heard him say, take what you need, my friend, within reason, of course. First thing I'm going to do with him is talk his ear off. Start with his one-liners.
May the gods watch over your battles, friend. Whatever you need. Buy you smear if it's simple and strong. I can forge it. You looking for a new blade? Iron or steel is what you need. Leave that fancy elven stuff to the elves. I could forge you a warhammer that would crush a giant's head like a walnut. You the sneaky type? Got some nice daggers around here somewhere. Yes?
Alright, that's all his one-liners. Now let's start actually talking to him. Do you have any supplies I could take?
Like I said, I'm glad to help in any way I can. Help yourself to whatever you need, within reason.
We've already taken all this stuff. How do I get to Whiterun from here?
Cross the river and then head north. You'll see it just past the falls. When you get to Whiterun, just keep going up. When you get to the top of the hill, you're at Dragon's Reach, the Jarl's palace.
We made friends with them, remember, because we followed Hadvar during Unbound. What can you tell me about the Jarl?
Jarl Balgruuf. He rules Whiterun Hold. A good man, perhaps a bit overcautious, but these are dangerous times. So far, he's managed to stay out of the war. I'm afraid it can't last, though.
Which side in the war does he favor?
I don't think he likes either Ulfric or Elisif much. Who can blame him? But I've no doubt he'll prove loyal to the Empire in the end. He's no traitor.
You support the Empire, then?
Of course. Skyrim has always been part of the Empire. That doesn't mean I support everything the Empire's been doing lately. But Nords have never been fair-weather friends.
Who's Elisif?
Ah, I forget you're new to Skyrim. Jarl Elisif, I should say. Although only because she was married to Jarl Torrig when he was murdered. Ulfric murdered Torrig, you know. Walked right into his palace in Solitude and killed him. Shouted him to death, if you believe the stories. That's what started this whole war. The Empire couldn't ignore that. Once the Jarls start killing each other, we're back to the bad old days.
Can I use your forge?
I see no harm in it, if you have the skill. The grindstone will improve your weapons. Use the table to improve your armor. If you've got the raw materials, you can use the forge to make something new.
What can you tell me about Riverwood?
Gerder's family first settled here as woodcutters a few generations ago. She and Hod run the mill. I make a decent living sharpening axes and fixing the sawmill.
What do you think about the war?
People are rightly stirred up about the damn Thalmor being allowed to roam around arresting people, just for worshipping Talos. But was it worth tearing Skyrim apart and maybe destroying the Empire? No. Ulfric will have a lot to answer for in the end. Nords have always supported the Empire, and the Empire has always been good for Skyrim.
Why are the Thalmor allowed to arrest people for worshipping Talos?
It's from that treaty that ended the Great War, remember? When the Emperor was forced by the Thalmor to outlaw Talos worship. We didn't pay much attention to it when I was a boy. Everyone still had their little shrine to Talos. But then, Ulfric and his sons of Skyrim started agitating about it. Sure enough, the Emperor had to crack down, dragging people off in the middle of the night. One of the main causes of this war, if you ask me.
Alright, let's do a little tutorial quest for smithing. Need any help around the forge?
Yes, actually. How about you smith me an iron dagger? Here's everything you need to make one. Go ahead. Until next
So he
time.
gave us 2 iron ingots and 2 leather strips, and our first objective is to craft an iron dagger. Blacksmith forges. The blacksmith forge is used to create new weapons and armor from raw materials. So when you start off, no matter what, you're able to do hide armor, iron armor and weapons, studded armor, leather armor, and jewelry. If you have, the Shellbug helmet comes from Dawnguard under miscellaneous. Building materials obviously come from Hearthfire, and Bone Mold comes from Dragonborn. Then the Steel Smithing perk gave me Imperial and Steel gear. Anyway, let's make Alvor an iron dagger like he asked. Requires an iron ingot and leather strips.
Not too shabby. Apprentice level work, but solid. Keep at it.
Bring an iron dagger to Alvor.
Take what you need, my friend. Within reason, of course.
Here's an iron dagger.
Not bad, but it's a little dull. How about you sharpen it up? Just need a bit of metal and the grindstone over there. Aye.
So next is temper an iron dagger. At the grindstone. Grindstones. Use the grindstone to improve weapons. All improvements require specific materials which you can buy or find in the world. Let's temper it up to a fine iron dagger. Bring a tempered iron dagger to Alvor.
Whatever you need.
I've sharpened the iron dagger.
This looks good. You put time into your blades. They'll serve you well when you need them.
Craft some leather.
You want to keep helping? How about you make some armor? Let's start by tanning some leather on the rack. Until next time.
Alright. 2 leather from a deer hide. Bring the leather to Alvor.
Iron or steel.
Here's that leather you wanted.
Ah, good. A lot of weapons and armor need leather for straps, fittings, that kind of thing. Let's see if you can make a hide helmet. Here's the rest of what you need.
Craft a hide helmet.
Until
Alright.
next time.
Bring a hide helmet to Alvor.
You the sneaky type?
Here's a hide
That's a
helmet.
nice- Huh. I should hire you to be my assistant at this rate. Let's improve the fit. Take this leather to the workbench over there.
Temper a hide helmet. Workbenches. Use workbenches to improve armor. All improvements require materials. The amount of improvement depends on your smithing skill. Temper it up to a fine hide helmet. Bring a tempered hide helmet to Alvor.
Take what you need, my friend.
I've tempered the hide helmet.
You have talent. Keep working at your craft, and you'll be a fine smith one day. Why don't you keep that dagger and helmet? Maybe you'll remember me when you're making Skyforged steel, huh?
Alright, that's that. The smithing tutorial is done. And even though I used some of the materials he gave me, I come out ahead. 2 leather, 1 leather strip, and 1 iron ingot. Which is pretty cool. So if I go to my list, that drops me down to 3 iron ingots for the crafting cycle, 5 leather for that same cycle, and 20 leather strips left to find. I also, of course, end up with a fine hide helmet and a fine iron dagger, which I'll just sell to him right quick.
Whatever you need. The finest weapons and armor.
Alright, now, let's pick his pockets. He has 11 gold and a key to his house. And that's it.
We're a small village, but we work
Let's
hard.
get where we're hidden from him. There we go.
Care of our own.
Get the gold, get the key.
Huh?
Try again on the key. Okay, and that's it for Alvor. There are 3 other people who live in his house. You can't steal from kids,
I own the lumber mill.
so we're just going to
Fair
talk
wage.
to them
See my
to get all their
husband?
dialogue. His daughter's up here on the sleeping giant porch, Dorothy. So let's see what she has to say.
Don't even think about it. Did you really see a dragon? Papa says I'm too friendly with strangers, but you seem alright. My father is Alvor, the blacksmith. I'm his assistant. I mean apprentice. Someday, I'm going to forge my own sword. Papa says I'm not ready for weapons, so I make lots of horseshoes and hobnails. Mama doesn't think I'm girlish enough, but that's just stupid girl talk. Papa may have wanted a son, but he got me.
Good dog.
He's a lucky man. Ain't nothing a boy can do that I can't do better. Yes?
Alright, that's it for her. His wife, Sigrid, is probably in the back in her garden. So let's talk with her. Yes, there she is.
I'm spoken for, you know, so don't get any ideas. Alvor and I, we got a daughter, little Dorothy. My girl likes to work the forge with her papa. All of that blacksmithing. It's not good for a little girl. Ain't ladylike. Dorothy needs to spend more time in the garden. I could use the help. It don't matter what I grow. My Alvor, he'll eat anything. Maybe I'll do turnips next. Or maybe radishes? Good afternoon.
How do I get to Whiterun from here?
Just follow the road north. When you get to Hunningbrew Meadery, turn left and the road will take you to the city gates. It's not far. We used to go to the market there every month or so until the roads got so dangerous with the war and all.
What do you think about the war?
I just hope the war doesn't come to Riverwood. There's enough trouble in the world without those stormcloaks stirring up more.
Alright.
Alright then.
Let's pick her pockets. She's got nothing. Well, that makes it easy. Last, let's head inside the house. Talk to Hadvar. Pick his pockets. And then loot the house. And then we'll repeat this process, more or less, for the other 5 buildings in town. There's Hadvar.
Damn Stormcloak rebels. I hope I'll see you in Solitude. Good luck. What the rebels like to forget is that the Empire is what's keeping the Dominion out of Skyrim.
His one-liners are the same as the Imperial soldier I talked to earlier, so let's just talk to him. How do I get to Whiterun from here?
Just head north, you can't miss it. It's the capital of Whiterun Hold, the biggest and the best of the 9 holds of Skyrim. But don't take my word for it.
You really think I should join the Imperial Legion?
Of course. I know today wasn't the best introduction to the Legion, but I hope you'll give us another chance. The Legion could really use someone like you, especially now. And if the rebels have themselves a dragon, General Tullius is the only one who can stop them.
You think General Tullius ordered my execution? Why would I want to help him?
I don't blame you for being angry about it. I would be too in your shoes. But it was all a mistake. You weren't supposed to be on that cart with those Stormcloak traitors. And the Imperial Legion needs your help, especially now with that dragon out there somewhere and Ulfric back on the loose.
I'll have to think about it.
Sure, I understand. It's not easy to go from being executed by the Legion one day to joining up the next. But I think you'll see that the Legion is Skyrim's only hope for real peace right now. I know you'll make the right choice in the end. Keep your guard up.
How do I join the Imperial Legion?
General Tullius has his headquarters in Castle Dower, in the city of Solitude, northwest of here. You'll want to talk to Legate Ricka. She deals with the new recruits. I'll be sure to put in a good word for you if I get back to Solitude first.
I thought dragons were all dead long ago.
So did I. If the damn Stormcloak somehow found one, or woke it up, the war might be about to take an ugly turn. Hard to believe it was just a coincidence, that the first dragon anyone's seen for centuries attacks just as Ulfric was about to be executed.
Who were those other prisoners?
You didn't know? That was Ulfric's Stormcloak and his top lieutenants.
He's a traitor of some kind?
Right, the leader of the Stormcloaks. They claim to be fighting for Skyrim's freedom, but the war is really all about Ulfric wanting to be High King of Skyrim.
Who are the Stormcloaks?
You haven't heard of the civil war in Skyrim? I guess down in Cyrodiil, people have other things to worry about. It's pretty simple. Ulfric founded the Stormcloaks years ago, as a sort of private army to advance his ambitions. He's always used the ban on the worship of Talos to stir people up against the Empire. He never succeeded in getting much support, so a few months ago he murdered the High King. That got the Empire's attention.
Let me try this again.
That was Ulfric's Stormcloak and his
I
top
don't pay much
lieutenants.
attention to current events.
Oh, right. You were caught trying to cross the border into Skyrim, weren't you? You're not kidding. Ulfric's the leader of the Stormcloaks. You know, the traitors trying to break Skyrim away from the Empire.
How did you capture Ulfric?
A masterstroke by General Tullius. He's only been in charge here for a few months, but he's turned things around for the Empire. We've been trying to catch Ulfric since the war started, but he always seemed to slip through our fingers, like he knew we were coming. This time, the General turned the tables on him. Ulfric rode right into our ambush with only a few bodyguards. He surrendered pretty meekly too. So much for his death or glory reputation. I thought we were taking Ulfric back to Cyrodiil, but I guess the general changed his mind. You know the rest.
Why is the worship of Talos banned?
I guess that wasn't such a big deal elsewhere in the Empire, but here it's caused a lot of resentment. Native son and all that. Even I'll admit it hasn't been the Empire's finest hour. But it wasn't like the Emperor had any choice, did he? If he hadn't signed the peace treaty with the Thalmor, they would have destroyed the Empire. And where would Skyrim be? That's the part that Ulfric's supporters always conveniently forget about. Unless the Empire stands together, the Thalmor would destroy us all.
Alright.
Be careful on the way to Solitude. Damn Stormcloaks could be anywhere.
Alright, now let's pickpocket Hadvar. He's got some stuff that's going to be hard to steal. I'm going to start with the easiest thing, the 14 iron arrows. Pickpocket increased to 22. Good.
Can't wait.
The key to Alvor's house.
Kill another
Not
wolf.
bad. Next, his belted tunic. Not bad. Now let's get the longbow. Our odds are dropping substantially. But we got it. And now an iron shield. 4% is really low, so when I inevitably have to quick load, I'm just gonna resume recording when I manage to take it. So
You can't hide. You can't.
there we go. We got it that time. Pickpocket increased to 23. Now, let's loot the house. Most of the stuff will be free to take, but not all of it. Expensive stuff they still don't want us having, but start down here and work our way out. 4 tomatoes in the barrel. On top of the wardrobe, there's an iron battle axe, which I still had to steal. Uh-oh. I seem to be stuck. Ah, got it. Good. Inside the wardrobe, clothes. A chest. 13 gold, a wooden bowl, and 2 horker tusks. Magnificent. I only need 9 more of those. Let's go over here. These blacksmith's potions we have to steal. And I let Hadvar spot me. Let's take the woodcutter's axe and the bucket, all the stuff that is free to take. Kettle, the 3 iron arrows here, 1, 2, 3. Bucket next to the table. Inside this end table we have clothes iron and a tankard. Basket, bucket, basket. Troll fat. We need one of those for the cursed tribe. We have to deliver it to Atub. So I will save that for her. And we only need the one, so I can take it off my list. There's a second troll fat, freely usable. Iron armor we have to steal. Iron gauntlets, daggers, sword, and alto wine we're all free to take. Let's grab those 2 blacksmith's potions. And the hunting bow, since we're alone. And get around behind this bar. Basket, iron boots, 2 Nordmead. 2 baskets. On these shelves, 1, 2, 3, 4 tankards, 1 wooden plate. Wooden ladle, wooden plate, 2 wooden bowls, 1, 2, 3 cast iron pots. This table, 2 tankards, a loaf of bread, up above it a garlic braid, elf's ear, frost miriam, and that's it for the basement. Let's head back
Make
upstairs.
yourself at home.
A bucket inside the barrel, 5 cabbages. A basket, 2 leeks that were inside the basket. A goat cheese wheel, sliced Idar cheese wedge, wooden plate. 1, 2 garlic braids, 1, 2, 3 elf's ears, and 1 frost miriam. 3 potatoes, a garlic, 2 leeks, 2 wooden plates. That's it for those shelves. Let's do the kitchen table. Cabbage, wooden bowl, bread, wooden plate, chicken egg, cast iron pot, bread, wooden plate, salmon steak, potato, alto wine, wine, chicken egg, bread, wooden plate, Idar cheese wedge, and a snowberry. That's my 4th one. I need 25 more. Make note of that. Check the floor. Looks like it's all good. Let's go to the fireplace. 2 cast iron pots, a wooden ladle, a kettle, an iron shield that I have to steal. I'll just carry it downstairs, that's easiest. 3 rabbits. 1, 2, 3. On top, a steel sword that I will have to steal. So let's carry it downstairs. And hit our encumbrance limit. It's alright, Riverwood Trader is right across the street. So we can keep going. Let's search this chest. 63 gold, 3 lockpicks, and even though this is in red, which indicates it's valuable enough I'd have to steal it, they won't notice me taking it out of the chest for whatever reason. So, steel war axe. Let's hop over here.
Keep an eye out for trouble. It's
A
only
basket
matter of
and
time.
2 potions of vigor, which I'll need to steal, so let's wait until I'm hidden and nab both of those. Shoes, right there by the bed. On top of this wardrobe, a basket and a blacksmith's apron. We've already emptied the wardrobe. Let's go to this table. This is it. Iron dagger, tankard, coin purse, 19 gold, 5 individual coins, and a book, A Gentleman's Guide to Whiterun. A Gentleman's Guide to Whiterun, by Mikhail the Bard. Welcome, good sir, to this indispensable guide. Within these pages, I, your humble author and guide, will describe to you the great city of Whiterun, the jewel of the north. Whiterun offers numerous diversions for the man in search of adventure, fortune, and companionship, whether for a night or for a lifetime. The city is graced with not 1, but 2 worthy taverns, and there are maids and wenches aplenty. The city is located rather centrally in Skyrim, and this is well, for it is not far from anywhere. Perched high upon a rocky hill, Whiterun dominates the grassy plains that surround it. High wooden walls protect its denizens from the wolves, mammoths, bandits, and other dangers lurking beyond. When you first enter through the city's main gate, you will find yourself in the Plains District. This is so named because it is the lowest of the city's 3 neighborhoods. Ah, but here can be found the Bannered Mare, which I count among the finest taverns in all Skyrim. The scenery within is quite compelling if you have an eye for the fairer sex. A stout lass named Hulda tends the bar. Don't let that stony Nord exterior fool you, for she is possessed of that same fiery passion that all Nord women try so hard to conceal. Sadia, the barmaid, is an exotic Redguard beauty. She is quite mysterious, and your humble author is determined to learn her secrets. Outside the Bannered Mare is a modest marketplace, and here is where I found true love. Though I would never deter a fellow hunting hound from the chase, for indeed why should I author these tomes if not to provide guidance in this very matter, I must ask that you do me this one kindness. Her name is Carlotta Valentia, and she is a magnificent beauty who makes a modest living selling bread and produce in the daylight hours. By the gods, I will make that feisty beauty mine some day. And of course there are other services to be found in the Plains District. Bellathor's General Goods offers various and sundry wares for the adventurous traveler, and Arcadia's Cauldron offers what tonics and herbs one would expect from an apothecary's shop. Arcadia herself is an amiable sort. I often visit her to make conversation, as she is a fellow Imperial far from home. She is, however, a bit old for my taste. A gentleman of advanced years might find in her a worthy companion. Should you need your blade sharpened or your armor hammered, War Maidens offers smithing services very near the main gate. The smith is a pretty Nord named Adriana Avenici, but she is married to a great hulking brute named Ulfberth Warbear. Adriane is quite fair, but I should not want to find myself being introduced to the keen edge of that husband's war axe. If married ladies are your preferred sport, then have at, but don't say that you weren't warned. Near to the smith is the drunken huntsman. Here some of the wealthier gentlemen gather to share both drink and rumors of the wide world. If you prefer a more distinguished class of company while you sip fine wine, you'll be well at home here. Of the Wind District I have little to say. Most of the buildings in this second tier of the city are residences, though there is also a Temple of Kinnereth and Jorvaskr, the mead hall of the Companions. There are some intriguing prospects to be found in the mead hall should you favor a strong and fearless warrior woman. You will find little game at the temple, however. The priestess, Danica Purespring, is interested almost exclusively in spiritual matters. At last we come to the Cloud District, exclusive domain of the Jarl's castle. I have had some merry adventures within the stone walls of Dragon's Reach, let me tell you. The serving girls are most easily impressed by a well-spoken Imperial. After all, the nights in Skyrim do grow quite cold, if you take my meaning. And I will not deny that I have visited the town's jail once or twice, which can be found in the lower levels of the palace. As for the Jarl and his court, take pains to avoid them. I find that they lack any sense of humor or appreciation for the Imperial culture. Besides which, they are all wealthy men, and so must be viewed as your most serious competition. These Nords are simple folk, after all, and too easily swayed by the sight of fine clothes and a purse full of septims. Now I will conclude this work by wishing you great success in your pursuits of women and wine. Spare a moment in your revels to think of me, your humble author, and the risks I have taken to bring you this most thorough report on all thing of interest to the discerning gentlemen in the grand city of Whiterun. Ah, but I will not lie and say that it was all a hardship. After all, who could want to sleep alone in such a cold and hard land as this? Not I. Alright. And with that, we're ready to leave. I'm going to take another pause in a minute here, but I'd like to offload first. So I'll start by 6 p.m. So Alvor's still out. I'd like to sell what I can to him and trade for useful stuff, since I think he's almost out of money. There's Dorothy, helping him smith.
See a dragon?
Just like Sigrid said she does.
Take what you need, my friend.
What have you got for sale?
Looking to protect yourself?
Yeah,
or
he only
deal
has
some
50 gold
damage?
left, but 2 iron daggers, iron sword, steel war axe, woodcutter's axe. Need all of that, but I can sell him the iron boots, and he can't quite afford the iron gauntlets. I'll buy a corundum ingot from him. With that corundum, I finished selling things to him, and I now only need 103 corundum ingots.
Aye.
Are you in trouble?
Let's offload anything else we can currently sell to Lucan. Well, actually, I should probably sell some of it to Orgnar. Now because I've got a bunch of food. And Orgnar sells alchemy ingredients. He might have something I need.
Around here, so I'll go easy on you. But don't get up.
So let's try that.
Get me mad, and I'll prank you. And not a little, a lot.
We got room.
What have you got for sale?
Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry.
2 alto wine, 1, 2, 3, 4 bread, 6 cabbage, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 2 Idar cheese wedge, goat cheese wheel, 4 leeks, 2 Nord mead, 4 potato, 3 raw rabbit leg, a salmon steak, sliced Idar cheese, 4 tomato, and a wine.
Until next time.
And finally, we can go sell all of the clutter,
I like to have a
other miscellaneous stuff to Lucan. Then we can make a pit stop back at Anissa's cabin. Then we can pick what building we want to tackle next.
Riverwood trader. Take a look.
Blacksmith's apron, clothes and shoes. Gentleman's Guide to Whiterun. Basket, 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 bucket. Cast iron pot, clothes iron. Kettle, tankards, and wooden dishes. Alright, let's bounce to Anissa's. The horses of Skyrim are hardy and strong, and make up for in endurance what they lack in speed. So there are a few... I definitely have a few stolen things that I just want to sell. Hunting bow, iron battle axe, longbow, steel sword. Belted tunic, iron armor, 2 iron shields, blacksmith's potions, potions of vigor. The rest of this stuff is useful, though. hit the cellar. I got some ingredients. Chicken's egg, elf's ear, frost miriam, garlic, and 1 troll fat. I need to drop 1 troll fat in here for questing stuff, along with corundum ingot, the horker tusks, in this crafting supplies, eventual crafting supplies. I'm going to put the snowberries, that iron ingot, the 2 leathers, and the leather strips. Okay, with that, we can travel back to Riverwood and decide what to do next. Now there's a miscellaneous quest here in Riverwood called A Lovely Letter, and I'll talk more about it later, but we can basically make friends with either Sven and Hildy or Feindal. They both have good stuff in their houses, but you can recruit one of them as a follower, and Feindal is a much better follower than Sven is. So I'm going to do a lovely letter in Feindal's favor, which means that Sven and Hildy will never become my friends, and I just have to steal whatever I want from their house. So I will do that next time, because I think this video is running up on my length limits. So next time we'll continue exploring Riverwood. We've got 3 houses, a trader, and an inn left to check out. So we will do that next time. And until then, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.